It got dark again. My mistake. Right. I keep talking to you about the old me. And I keep saying, oh yeah, I'll show you a picture when I get my camera, yada, yada, yada. Well, I've just realised I've got my Mac in my bag with me. And it's got all my photos on it. So I was able to find a picture. And now, because I don't want to edit. I want to show you just like by pointing. So I've been talking about it a lot. About what I used to look like. I'm going to do a proper video about transformation because, by the way, today is a monk mode video. But I just wanted to show you all the old me and then a quite current me, but also I'm mid-bulk, so I'm not going to show you what I look like now, right? So this was the old gluttonous me from just over a year ago. Those are my big old boobies and huge stomach, and this wasn't even me at my biggest. It's just the only topless picture that there you go, there's better quality of it. It's just the only topless picture I've got of myself. So that's what I was looking like, and then that is me just about 6 weeks ago. I don't quite have definition in the six-pack area, and especially not now because I'm bulking. But as you can tell, a lot different and a lot better than the huge me. So I am going to do a whole video about the whole transformation properly. Today was just about monk mode. I just wanted to show you that because this is the power of a monk mode. This is what made me go. This is a big tool that I use to help me go from that gluttonous titties boy that I was to the version of me that I am now, and the version of me that you saw on the other picture about 6 to 7 weeks ago when I just reached the end of my cut. So monk mode, what is monk mode? Monk mode is removing all distractions. Monk mode is removing all dopamine, joy and pleasures in pursuit of one specific purpose, in pursuit of one goal, whether that's bettering yourself, becoming more disciplined, changing your body, your financial situation. You don't want any distractions whatsoever. You've got to really focus. You've got to really watch what you're feeding your mind. It's all about what you're feeding your mind. If you're feeding your mind, if you're watching videos about people who are complaining about why they can't do something, or oh it's hard, or people that are just generally complaining, if you're feeding your brain with that, you're going to adopt that mindset sooner or later, whether you like it or not, because you are a product of your environment. If you surround yourself with people and content that are telling you how you can do things, and a winner's mindset as opposed to making complaints, coming up with solutions, you will adopt that mindset. And you want to be doing things conducive to your goal. You want to do things that are going to help you progress and do nothing else. If you really want your goal, you're not going to even want to play Xbox. You're not going to want to watch Netflix. You're not going to want to scroll through TikTok unless you're watching motivational stuff on TikTok. Or not even motivational, but well, with TikTok, I don't really know. I've never really had TikTok. I downloaded it recently to upload videos onto it, but I've never been a consumer, or not recently anyway, maybe years ago. With YouTube, for example, I can tell you that YouTube is an excellent place to learn education from people, because especially when the algorithm has noticed that you're watching exclusively self-help videos and nothing else, you will only be shown that in your feed. Whereas I feel like TikTok, you might get into like a self-help space and then there'll be like this big booty blonde woman twerking, and then you can just easily get distracted, and the algorithm will notice that you've stopped and stayed on that video for 5 seconds longer than average, and then before you know it, you've just got twerking all in front of you, and you're just getting distracted. You're just getting distracted. You don't want to be distracted, you know. Looking at people twerking is not going to get you money in your pocket, is it? It's just going to get you distracted and wasting your time busting one out again. You want to knock all that off. No dopamine whatsoever. You just want to focus on your goal. So, monk mode. For me, there's different levels and different types of monk mode. I'm going to talk about the level and type that I did personally. So my monk mode, like serious monk mode, because I feel like I would like to stay in one for even longer, but the longest one I've done is about 3 months, 90 days. I didn't listen to any music that can have influence on my mind. So no Kanye West, no rapping, no pop music, no whatever you probably enjoy listening to, you're not going to be able to listen to if you're going to take monk mode seriously. This is how I took it, because any words in those songs, you know, I don't know what you listen to. Let's say you're listening to Cardi B, Wet Ass Put. I don't know what the hell you're listening to. I really don't, but you're going to hear things in those songs that are going to affect your mindset, whether you think it will or it won't. It will, and it won't be towards your goal. I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad. It's most probably bad. I don't know what it is you're listening to. It's probably bad, but it's not going to help you get where you want to go. So I chose personally to only listen to classical music, because classical music provides no distraction. You can take it one step further and listen to absolutely nothing, but I thought classical music is acceptable because it can act almost as a stimulant. If I'm working, it can make me type faster, and I'm not getting influence with words. It's just a sound, and it can even help me focus. So that's down to you to decide. Maybe you just want to do no music. I personally, classical music was fine. If you're not really into classical music, I would recommend a place to start with a song I really like. Classical, it's not really a classical piece, it's more modern, but there's no words. It's called Spring One. Listen to it, Spring One, fantastic piece. Also, Solas by Jamie Duffy. You know, it doesn't have to be like old school. That's quite a modern piece of classical music I like. So listen to Solas by Jamie Duffy, Spring One. Get a taste for it. You might even discover that you like it. I did. So, especially when you remove everything else, when that's the only option that you're giving yourself to listen to, you'll soon find that it's actually quite pleasant. So that can help you remove distraction. It's almost like a stimulant. It'll make you work faster, and it's not just chasing dopamine. You can use it productively. So classical music for me was a great tool. No social media other than YouTube to watch self-help content or content that's about your goal, but you have to be really strict with yourself, and you have to no distractions. You have to totally trust yourself that you're only going to watch content that's helpful to what you're trying to achieve, whether that's self-help, whether that's motivational things to keep you going, adopting mindset, whether it's to do with your diet, you want to watch videos about nutrition, whatever it is. Just do not get distracted watching things like, I know it's fun to watch, but I don't know what people even watch these days. I don't really watch anything. Mr. Beast is probably fun. I've not watched him in years, but entertaining things like that, yes, they are fun to watch, but the whole point of this is not to chase fun and pleasure. It's to get going with your goals and keep moving forward, and have just total focus on a specific target. You don't want to be distracting yourself with fake entertainment and dopamine. You want to be moving forward. God, just give me the man nod. Get the one back. You want to keep moving forward with your goal. No distractions. Another thing is busting one out. That's got to stop, because I remember I used to think that wasn't necessary, that you can still, but it's if you are truly focused on your goal, you might think, oh, but it's not. It is, because say it takes you like half an hour, first of all. That's half an hour that you could have been doing something productive. You don't want to spend your time doing anything unproductive, and believe it or not, busting one out, as far as I'm concerned, is no way productive whatsoever. So by refraining from doing that, and definitely not watching anything, if you absolutely, like, if you do accidentally fail with what I've just said, at least just not watching anything, but just try not to do it whatsoever. It's a waste of time. You could use that time, even if you just use that time sleeping, it's going to do more for your mental than and by refraining from doing it, it's something that you probably want to do. So that's going to, if you're refraining from doing something that you want to do, that's giving you discipline as a person. So that builds mental resilience by not doing it. And it's the same with all of this stuff that I'm mentioning. Not listening to music, that's also, not seeking pleasure. Not busting one out, that's not seeking pleasure. You're basically just doing things that aren't pleasurable. You want to just spend all of your time working. So there might be things I've not even thought of in your life that you find pleasurable, but I highly recommend that instead of watching entertainment, you read. Reading, you have to sit there, you have to focus. Get rid of your TikTok brain rot and just sit there and just focus and just read. It's going to build mental discipline to just sit there and just read and focus. It's going to do a lot for up here, because a lot of people are they've got no what's the word I'm looking for? You've got no ability to just sit down and concentrate and focus. They're just so distracted all the time. It's just distracted. So monk mode is basically just essentially remove all distractions from your life. All of them. All of them. You're probably thinking, oh, what about this one? And all of them. All of them. Every single one. Not whatever it is you're thinking about. Get rid of all distractions. That aren't, just only do things that progress your future. Only read inspirational stuff that's going to keep you motivated and keep you going. Only watch videos that are going to give you advice about a winner's mindset, not these people that complain about useless nonsense garbage. Only listen to classical music that isn't going to have some outward influence going into your mind, talking about degenerate nonsense bullshit, drinking and drugs and pussy and hoes, and no rap, no nothing. Classical music. Just give your brain a total detox of all that nonsense. That essential sugar as well. Just do things that are more, swap out bad habits for good ones is basically monk mode. You want to get rid of all the bad stuff and introduce good stuff instead. Get rid of sugar. You can just remove all basically pleasure, cheap dopamine pleasure, and you will find eventually, once you get it all out of your system, you will derive pleasure from the work that you do. Before I had a monk mode, the dopamine, the fake TikTok dopamine, I now get all that from going to the gym. I get dopamine. I look forward to going to the gym. I look forward to reading. I look forward to making these videos. I look forward to only watching content that, and then the more you do these things and the longer you do it for, the less you even want to, and the more you can see how the other stuff just holds you back and you don't even want to do it. The thought of scrolling through TikTok for an hour now makes me feel physically sick. I couldn't think of a bigger waste of time. I've got things to do. I can't spend an hour doing TikTok. I'd much rather spend an hour reading, because that hour reading is building mental discipline. It's teaching me things that I didn't know before. Reading, I mean, not fiction nonsense. I mean, read actual things that you are interested about and want to and need to learn, that are going to help whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, whether that's a skill that you're trying to get for a job. You know personally what it is for you. Just swap out the bad habits for the good ones. Monk mode is all about removing that crap, cheap discipline and integrating activities that are going to only progress. And that is a big help that made me go from that massive fat version of myself to the current me, the better, more improved version 2.0. I'm trying to get to version 3.0 now, but it got me from version 1 to version 2, and it's the push that you need. It's the all or nothing mentality. It's that change that's required to start living that better life and start improving. So that's what I've got to say about monk mode, and I highly recommend that you implement one into your life if you're not living the life that you want to live. This period of focus, concentration, and removing all that bullshit is really going to propel you and rocket you up into the atmosphere. And once you've developed all these characteristics, discipline, and once you're getting into a groove, you'll find it's much easier to achieve your targets. You've got one less thing to worry about, which is the discipline aspect. And once you get into that place, you know there is no going back. You know that you're going to, because right now you might be thinking, oh, am I going to achieve? Once you start, this starts ruling your body, your meat sack, instead of your meat sack ruling your brain, you know that you're going to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. Once you start actually saying things and actually doing them, instead of just saying things and then never actually doing them. Once you start trusting yourself and having self-belief, you'll never doubt yourself again with anything. You know that whatever you set out to achieve, you're going to achieve. And once you do that, you can do anything. So I would recommend that you start out with a monk mode. Just remove all the crap, put in all the good stuff, and you're good to go. I'll catch you in the next video.